So I had an order I was packing yesterday. Somebody had ordered this tissue, which is one of my favorites. I love anything that's Delft China or Delft painting. I've been to Amsterdam a couple of times, and I have some original Delft ware. I went to the Delft factory because I used to do that myself. I used to design molds and sold them. The company was Cloud Mountain Molds, and I poured greenware for the entire valley that I live in, and had a ceramic shop where I taught classes. I did that for a really long time. And so I had decided when I designed this paper because of that. That's because it just appeals to me. And then I was packaging up a sale yesterday, and this paper was one of the papers that they bought, and I thought, oh, you know what? It would be really fun to put that paper on a Halloween pumpkin. So I have been base coating this. I just left a little piece so that you could see it really was a very pretty orange pumpkin. And I've taped the leaf on it so I didn't get white paint on it, but I need the background to be white, and I need just to get a little more, a second coat. See where you see orange peeking through? I don't want that peek through underneath the paper. So, but I just wanted to get started on it because you guys don't need to watch paint dry, right? Right? So okay. Let me put the camera down, and so there we go. I'm base coating it with Dixie Belle cotton. If you have fluff, which is also white, that would work. Whatever white you have on hand would work just fine. But if you're going to decoupage, especially if you've got a white background like this, you definitely want to get it base coated. So let me just quickly finish this base coating up. But I've seen so many other content creators working on fall and Halloween, and when I count the days, it's like, yeah, it's gonna go fast, so you might as well just join the party. Okay, so I'm going to just quickly get a second coat on these areas where I still see orange popping through. So basically, you would want to let this dry really well. Like normally I would just paint it and walk away from it, but this is live, so we're gonna get busy on it. Yeah, I'm so excited about that Hobby Lobby, you guys. They could not have put in anything that would make me any more excited. And I didn't pick up a lot of stuff because I already have so much, but I did get these really pretty napkins, which I'll use for decoupage. But I just love the combination of the fall colors on it, and I could not resist these napkins. I thought these were really beautiful too. And if you guys haven't ever decoupaged with napkins, they're a great thing to use for decoupaging, and I have a project in mind. And then this really pretty one with pumpkins on it, and it's got, I don't know if that's like eucalyptus or what there, but I thought that was really pretty. So I picked those up today. And I will, if you don't want to buy a whole package, I will have some of these on my website. I don't have them on there yet, but I do have some really pretty napkins. When I see napkins when I'm out and about, I grab them. So this paper has a repeating pattern on it. With the birds and the berries and the floral. I just think it's just beautiful. So I'm going to take a watercolor brush. I like to use these when I'm using them on tissue to tear it up because they hold a lot of water. And so I'm going to do it in sections And it doesn't have to be in any special way. And each one can be completely different from the other. So I have no idea how this is, because this is kind of a weird little pattern that I made here. Get you guys more in the camera here. And I did put the link for this paper. If you like this paper and this pattern, if you're a fan of like that Delft China look, I did link it. But like I said, you know, you can do all kinds, like those napkins would be really cute on this pumpkin. So there's all kinds of choices. Okay, so that's going to be my first piece, and I don't like straight edges on anything. So I'm going to pull a little bit of this off so I don't end up with a straight edge. You would be surprised how a straight edge will stand straight out. It's like it's got a neon light pointing at it. And I just want to also bring up, you guys, that I have posted about it, but I have a chair decoupage class coming up here. I don't know the dates right off the top of my head, but it is listed on my Facebook page. And I'm going to spray this a little bit just to relax the fibers in it. I'm just misting it. So if anybody's wanting to learn how to decoupage a chair, I scheduled it a few months out just so on purpose, so that people would have time to find a chair. Marketplace is a great place to find chairs. And I just, that class is on my website, and I would love it if you guys would sign up. That is a really fun project to do. So you can see by just misting this paper, it just made it relax, and it's going to be easier to get it down in all the nooks and crannies. So I'm going to take some of the Dixie Belle Satin Top Coat, and that's what I use for decoupage medium. I don't use Mod Podge. Mod Podge doesn't hold up over time. It will yellow and crack over time, so I never recommend that. Where the satin top coat is the same product that you finish your furniture with when you're done painting it, and that's never going to crack and yellow. So I'm putting on a smooth coat, but it's a generous coat because I don't want to miss any little valleys. And it doesn't matter if I have like little pieces, like there's gaps and pieces there, because I'm just going to go back. And I need to get my little plastic wrap. If you use a piece of plastic wrap or saran wrap or anything like that, it will prevent you from tearing your paper. And I'm just gonna, I've got the ceiling fan going, and I just want to mist it a little bit. That helps relax the paper and helps me get it laid down and all of these little valleys in the pumpkin. And I'll look at your comments and questions in just 1 second. I want to get this piece down. I love it already. And if you have a few little folds and stuff, that's okay. Just be sure that you get them pressed down. It's not going to be possible with this much movement in the pumpkin to always get them completely flat. But when I'll give you a close-up of this, you can see for the most part, it is very flat. Okay, so I can see a spot right there, which is probably right where I just finished painting when we first started. And even though it was dry to the touch, now that I've wetted it with the satin top coat, it's kind of bleeding through a little bit. So I'm going to let this get dry, and then I'll go and touch that back up again. But isn't that coming out pretty? I think that's super pretty. So right now, before I go any further, I'm going to dry what I've got on there. Okay, so now I'm going to pull off another piece. So I'm just thinking, I think I'll continue up here on this section on the top. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just wet the paper and just pull it apart. And again, I have corners down here that I don't want squared off straight corners. So I'm just gonna do a little pulling. And we are not trying to match this pattern up at all. And this particular paper, if you are a person who likes this kind of style and decor, this paper would be super pretty on a lampshade. I have a really pretty blue and white chintz lamp, and I would like to find, it's got a shade that I don't like on it. I would like to find a new shade and do this technique with that. So I think this is what I'm going to do. Is like this. So I'm going to wet my paper, just give it a light mist. And then I'm going to put some satin top coat up here. And wherever I put this, even if I don't have paper down there, the satin top coat is going to dry translucent. It's going to dry clear. You guys see me decoupage with this all the time. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but this was white and there was already a floral underneath it. And when I pressed down on it, the floral came right to the surface. And I didn't mention it, but I just taped off, there's a really pretty felt leaf on the top of this pumpkin. And I just taped it off so it would stay out of my way while I was doing this. And the stem, I'm going to paint with gold. And so because I have all of these nooks and crannies and valleys in here, I am carefully pressing down so that I don't trap any air in there. If I happen to miss one, then you can always take a sharp pin and poke it. But I'm trying to be aware of it and not trap any air underneath. Since most of the time we're decoupaging on a perfectly flat surface. And ideally, you would paint your pumpkins with whatever white you're using and let it dry really well. But you wouldn't be rushing it like I am. And I did pick up a little stem of white flowers when I was at Hobby Lobby, just in case when I'm done with this, I want a sprig of flowers underneath with that leaf. I don't know that I will, but I just thought, well, it never hurts to have a sprig of flowers handy. And I'm just going to spritz this just a bit. And I have a few folds in here, but with a pattern like this, they do camouflage in really well. So there we are, so far so good. Okay, it's time for another piece. It's always nice when something turns out how you have envisioned it in your head, in your mind. So I'm going to take this section up here. And get rid of those hard edges. Okay, so I think I'm going to put this one like right up here. I think that's going to fit nice. And it's nice with this pattern because if they butt up or overlap on each other, it just looks like that's the way it was supposed to be. It doesn't look like you have made a mistake or miscalculation. And with this tissue pattern, it does overlap and match up really nicely. It makes it look very seamless. It actually matches up much nicer than what I thought it would. And you just want to take your time and do a section at a time. Don't get in a big rush. Each time I kind of start off in the middle here where the detail of the bird is, and then work my way this direction and work my way that direction. You can pat it down into place. And if you're doing this and you take smaller sections, that might be a little easier if you've never done this before. I'm taking fairly large sections each time. And this paper is 18-pound paper. The wrapping paper, when you use tissue paper when you're wrapping packages, that tissue paper is 10-pound paper, to give you some comparison. And this is 18-pound. So it is stronger paper than what you would wrap with, but it is still delicate. It's still paper. It will tear, so you just need to be patient. Slow and easy wins the race. I'm loving it. So I have like a fairly good sized little gap right there. So I'm just going to find a floral and fill in that gap area. So I'm going to take this whole section here . I don't know that I'll use the whole section. So I haven't sprayed it. I think I'm going to just tear it into a smaller section. I'll look at your comments in just a second. There, that looks good. And it always has, so I do have quite a bit. I have quite a bit, because when I see it when I'm out thrifting and stuff, and like when I was in Amsterdam and I went to the Delft pottery, I bought a few pieces when I was there. I bought what I could afford, because boy, real Delft is super, super expensive. Okay, Loretta. When I tear a piece, why isn't there fringe wispy edges? Is that because it's 18-pound versus 10? Well, there are. Let me show you a piece up close. See the edges? And that's what there's some little, like that's got some wispy on it. But when you press it down onto your substrate, they just disappear. They just evaporate into your piece. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but like I can lay some of this white section, like right here, that's all white, over a part of the petal, and the petal is still going to come through. So you're still going to see that whole flower, that whole petal. And that's been happening, especially right up here where I've had to do some overlapping. And then keep in mind, when decoupage tissue dries, it shrinks. So even if you see some wrinkles now, when it dries, they will shrink. So I think we'll work on this section here, like right in here. I need to find something to keep this from rolling. And I have not cut any of these the same. I am just picking out sections. None of them have been the same. Even though this is a repeating pattern all across this whole sheet, it doesn't look like a repeating pattern on my pumpkin. Okay. I'm so glad whoever it was that bought tissue paper from me yesterday gave me that idea when I was packing their order. So I don't know if that showed really well, but I just put white over this flower, and it changes the color of it, but you still see the shape of that flower. And I'm using Dixie Belle Satin Top Coat for my decoupage on here. That's the medium I always use when I'm decoupaging. But when this is finished, if you wanted a high sheen on it, if you wanted it to look glossy, like it's ceramic, you could use the Dixie Belle High Gloss on it to have a high finish on it, which would be very pretty also. It's a fun thing about doing your own arts and crafts like this, because you can just make things that match your own tastes, your own decor. You can make beautiful gifts for people. And this is something anybody can do. That's a pretty deep crevice there, so I'm just making sure I get it pressed down in there good. Okay. Molly, you say tomorrow. Mary, you say keep going. Lynn, you're falling asleep from watching me? Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. That's funny. You must be on a later time zone. Like if it's 5 o'clock here, it must be like 7 or 8 o'clock your time. All right, I'll go a little bit, I'll compromise. I'll go a little bit longer, but we won't go a whole lot longer. So it's 8 o'clock your time, Lynn? This just tore out pretty. I like it just like it is. That is just really pretty. You could do this on a jar, use some slick stick or some, what do they call it now? They call it Boss Binding now. They changed the name of it. I can't remember. So we'll get this piece on and then we'll call it quits. Then you guys just have to come back tomorrow. Same time, same place. I am thinking maybe honestly, I've been a retailer for Dixie Belle for 5 years, and I can't recall having ever used the high gloss on anything because that's not my thing. But I'm thinking I might do that with this piece. That might be really pretty. Especially since I'm going to do the stem on it in that really pretty gold. The liquid leaf. Lynn, thank you. Yes, the water pen works great. Water pens work really great for doing this. So I'm thinking this is really turning out pretty. I'm really, really happy with it. And I do think this is a good time to just let it rest. And that way, tomorrow when we come back, this will all be dry and I can get this part of it done. So I think it's a good thing to just let it rest. Close up my stuff. Bring the camera back up. Hello. Even be able to put the glaze on the top. Normally you guys, I would just use the satin top coat on here and be done. But I think I want to do something a little different, so I think I will use the high gloss on it tomorrow. What the heck? And this liquid gold is super pretty, and that's what I'm going to do. Has a really pretty brown stem that I have all taped up here. I think it's turning out really nice, and I appreciate you guys joining me. If you love this tissue paper, I did put the link for it up in the description. It's available on my website and it's available on Etsy. You guys have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye.